culture is living and breathing being who we are.
Culture is what defines us as people.
It's very, very important. It's something that should not be neglected.
What we're doing today is going to create the tomorrow, better culture for tomorrow for our children.
If you lose your connection to your art and your culture, then you're not a healthy society. So I think culture is incredibly important.
Culture is life. Life.
I like to think of culture as this idea that if you were to blindfold someone, pick them up and drop them into a place and then have them take their blindfold off, they'd be able to know from how they feel about the place and the things that are happening around them where they might be.
I think for me culture is an expression of the people, of the place, of the history, and also the commonality of how it connects people regardless of background.
I think culture is something that brings people together. It makes you to, demonstrate who you are and where you come from.
It's a lot of creativity. It's a lot of history. It's talent.
So culture is about what makes up society.
Culture is just a bond between people and between a small community or a large community.
Culture is what defines us as people and the foundation we leave to be built on for the future. That's what culture is.
When we say that we have a long cultural connection to country here, it's basically saying 50,000 years of the human existence here in this Budja, this country, is exactly that. And I feel very privileged to have that as part of who I am. My name is George Wally and I'm a Binjarab Marman, traditional owner of here, sharing culture with people from a different area and sometimes from this area. Very proud to have something to do with how the arts, the culture, the life, I guess.
I'm Franklin Nannup. Ngan ba Binjarab Marman Yunga. I'm the chairperson of Winjayan Aboriginal Corporation here in Mandurah. Done the things that I've done over my life. I never thought, walking around Mandurah, Pinjarra, Armidale, Medina, that I'd be going around the world.
Yeah, this bloke, he's been in movies, on stage, all over the place.
My name is Harry Nannup. I'm third generation Binjarab Marman. One of the teachers and tomorrow's leaders for teaching about our culture.
The Indigenous side of Mandurah is what I really am appreciating a lot more. Yeah, the arts as well. I love it when the art festivals are down here.
I'm Golia Paymani, and I'm a Mandurah resident. I'm an artist in Mandurah. I do illustration and graphic design.
My name is Virginia and I am from the Philippines. I am the president of the PL Multicultural Association for 10 years now. Every year, we celebrate a Festival of Flowers, Persian New Year, American Festival, Chinese New Year, Philippine Independence Day. So it all entails different cultural backgrounds and aspects.
I grew up in a household that's very music orientated. All my family plays and I've always been in and out of rehearsal rooms.
I am teacher about 20 years.
My name's Noor, I'm from Chop Street Music Productions. We've got a studio out at Fairbridge Village where we record artists, we do events and we help artists with their launches, and we also run workshops and music programs.
I'm Ellie Moody, so I'm an artist and an illustrator. I also run the Ability Arts Programme, which is an arts programme for people with disabilities.
I'm Hayley. I go to chorus 4 days and I do pottery
My name is Brian. I do pottery, I do art, and I do singing.
I do a lot of things with my school, like drama club and productions and whatnot, and YoFest every year.
Hi, my name is Claire Pannell, and I'm probably mostly a musician. So I'm really interested in the technology and the science of art.
Mostly joy, and the joy of experiencing a contact with nature.
It makes us feel like we are back home, you know. This is what we do back home. Giving us the privilege to perform this here today, give us like it makes us feel at home.
Every individual can enjoy art because it's really add up to their life. I know people say it's not essential, it's not necessity, it's not like your grocery. I know, but we not have to only feed our body, we have to feed our soul as well.
Culture is health. You're healthy. Your body's
healthy.
Your body's happy because you're performing. Yeah. And it's you. It's your land. It's your dance, and that inside makes you healthy inside.
The health benefits of art and community arts in particular are huge, because not only are you being creative and making yourself feel good because you're creating something, but you're also creating those social opportunities to meet people and participate in the community.
With arts and culture, being involved in that and whatnot, it really does help with self-esteem and just, you know, overarching, like for the more introverted people, really helping them find their place.
Like, I think that people need to be around other people. That's how it's been for a gazillion years, and arts allow people to do that and to express themselves, and maybe find people that have common interests where they can feel like they've got a connection. Sometimes that can get people out of a really hard spot.
The health benefits are immense because there is a big communication between what happens in your brain and what you feel physically.
So it affects the hormones in your body that affect your mood, but it also affects your motivation, your fear, and all that kind of stuff. And then if you ignore that, so if you let your stress hormones get too high, it can actually start to affect your physical health as well. So it's a lot more important to be creative than people realise sometimes.
Being involved in arts and culture gives people a sense of belonging, it gives them a community, it gives them new relationships.
One of the most important things I believe for people to have is music, and in the sense of being able to connect with someone, and then someone that you don't even know, being able to connect with what they make.
I love everything about Mandurah, the way they incorporate other communities. They give us like the sense of belonging. They get us involved in everything they are doing. They promote us, they support us.
The City of Mandurah has been really good over a number of years, probably 2 generations, in working with Franklin's father, Uncle Frank, and Uncle Joe, and they were bridge builders in bringing people together.
Well, if we think about Mandurah's history right back in time, first Australians living in this area, really Mandurah was an important part of the Noongar story, because it was this meeting place, this place that people would come to from all over the Noongar nation, the largest Aboriginal nation in Australia. And then if you think of Mandurah in a post-colonial era, it's been that place where people have come to share time with their loved ones over school holidays, or perhaps go and enjoy this abundant nature and natural lifestyle that we have, but really enjoy that sense of place. And so it's been this meeting place throughout history, and it is still that place today.
There's a very strong underlying interest and I guess a driving force in the arts here, especially in the visual arts, in relation to the environment.
All the work that I do is to do with the environment and trying to raise awareness and caring and empathy for the wildlife and the environment that can't speak for itself.
I think arts and culture is a really great way to be able to spread that awareness about the environment, and especially the beauties that we do have in Mandurah, as well as the ways that we can preserve that.
The environment around us is quite inspiring actually. I love animals, you can see them everywhere. There's tons of birds around. Like, you know, I could not I could not be creative. Like, you know, it's very hard to know. It's actually, sometimes you just got too many ideas because it's just so inspiring where we live as well.
The environment is culture. Everything's there. It's part of who we are. So I've been meeting with some different groups, environmental groups around here. And I just thank them all for being another tribe that cares about the land.
The reason that this place exists as it does is because of our natural environment, because of our waterways that are, you know, twice the size of the Sydney Harbour, because of our unique national park in the south and our coastline that stretches from the top to the bottom of the local government area where our people, you know, spend all of their time recreating and enjoying.
This was a big meeting place for, you know, visiting tribes that want to trade something from their country for something from this country. So they'd come here at the end of the rains and they'd gather and they'd exchange things and they're welcomed here because they ask.
If lifestyle and amenity and, you know, being immersed in culture are commodities, then Mandurah has them already in abundance. And so focusing on growing those creative scenes whilst also making sure that we're protecting that natural environment and building that public amenity for people will really become our key economic driver. And it's not a difficult vision to have, to see that Mandurah as this satellite city to the metropolitan area that is just driven by experience and lifestyle, the lifestyle capital of Western Australia, that's sort of shaped around culture, creativity and our natural environment. That's an easy proposition that you can see being one for Mandurah in the not too distant future.
The culture of Mandurah, I think, is very laid back. It's very friendly. I find it really nice when you go out and you see so many different people enjoying things.
You have that connection of history and past and current.
It's beautiful. I like it. And here is so many opportunities we can show our culture.
Mandurah brought me back to what I'm made for to do.
I just love living down here. I'm always drawn back. Yeah, it's a wonderful place to live.
The most powerful way to shape strong communities is to give people, all people, the opportunity to have a great sense of self-belief, a great sense of pride, of belonging, of connection. That sense of belonging, that sense of connection, I think is so intrinsically linked with our culture and arts. And it's one of the reasons that Mandurah is such a great place to be.
That's what only happens nowadays. It didn't happen before when I was young, you know, because there was no mobile phones.
There was none.
And that's not culture.
There's only a phone box up the road.